2022 is already over, and right now we have just moved on to chapter 2023. And right now in this video I will be announcing the long awaited reading challenge for this new year. So welcome to Mirror Talk. Before moving on, I would love to ask you, what were the top 5 books that you loved the most during 2022, and what were the books that you least favored during the reads in 2022? Because I would really love to read them. Now, let's move on to the challenge. My challenge is gonna bring us different genres throughout the year so that you would have a taste of every single genres out there. So as there are 12 months in the year, obviously, there will be 12 genres for you to try out each month. So this will give you a taste of each genre. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna read at least one book out of these genres. So each month we'll be bringing you different kind of genres, and here is the list of what you're gonna be reading from. So if you want to take a screenshot, you can take it right now, or you can note down the genres for each month as I move out through the video. Now, let's move on. Let's start with January. So I wanted this beginning of the year to be more magical. So I wanted to give this month the fantasy and magic. So your genre for this month will be magical fantasy. So I got 3 books for recommendations over here, but you can read any type of magical fantasy books. But my top 3 selection for this genre is Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is a really nice book, and the series is really great. It's about the magical school Hogwarts and the 3 best friends having their adventure throughout 7 years of their school life. Now the next book that is on list for us is Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson is another series just like Harry Potter, but this time the magic involves Greek mythology. So if there are any people who love Greek mythology out there, this book is surely for you. Now, let's move on to another story which has a unique plotline, unlike Harry Potter and Percy Jackson. So this is The Land of Stories. Although this book is not much known around the world, I would like to recommend this book because this book, written by Chris Colfer, is a great book that has 2 worlds of its own. One world is the reality world that we live in, and the other world is the land of stories, where fairy tales become reality. So this storyline is one of the most unique storylines I ever read, and I totally recommend this book for all the magical fantasy lovers out there. February, the month of love. Since Valentine's is coming up, I thought of giving this month the genre romance. So if you're a person who loves romance, this is the month for you. See, these are the 2 books that I recommend because these are the only books that I have out of this genre. So you would really love Romeo and Juliet out of the classics, or out of the modern drama, you would love Dream Boy. Dream Boy is another story that's about a girl who dreams about a boy, and that boy comes into the reality world. That's from the dream world. So it's a really different storyline. If you didn't check out my review about this, the link is in the description. You can click it to know more about this book. Now, Romeo and Juliet. What else should I talk about it? It's William Shakespeare classic, and if you love classic romance, you can try out Romeo and Juliet. For March, I thought of giving you comedy. So these are the 2 books that I recommend from my selection. This is Diary of a Wimpy Kid Big Shot and Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. You can try out the other books from this series, but these are my favorites. And you can try any other books that you have at home. Now, let's move on to the next month. Next up in April is biographies. These are the motivational biographies, and I'm not interested in these kinds of books, but I'm challenging myself by taking this challenge and reading books like Elon Musk's motivation, then Che Guevara's biography, My Journey by Abdul Kalam, Let Her Try, which is by Yousafzai, and Yousafzai. I'm sorry if I'm not Yousafzai. Okay, it's about Malala. So if you like her, you can try this. You can try Arthur C. Clarke's A Fall of Moon Dust. These are the sets of biographies that I have at home, and my mother bought these stuff for me because she actually encouraged me to read this. So if you're a person who doesn't read these books, try it out during this challenge. Now, let's move on to the next challenge. Next, let's move on to the month of May, where we have the random pick. How does random pick work? So this is how it's going to work. First, close your eyes, move towards your book cupboard, and pick anything. Just don't let yourself know what you're picking, and then open your eyes to know what the book is and start reading that book. That's how random pick is going to work. Now, let's move on to the next month. June. So June is going to be the month of classics. You're going to be reading pure classics given by many authors from the past like William Shakespeare and many more. Wait until I get my book. There we go. So we have William Shakespeare's complete work, which you can read, but I'm not sure whether you'll be able to read this within a month. So I just recommend you books like Macbeth. Macbeth is a really nice classic, and you would really enjoy it if you love Shakespeare's works. And this is a tragedy, so just have fun reading classics. July. So for July, we have movie-based books. I love this genre a lot because it's really nice to read books that are based on movies. No, is it movies based on books or is it books based on movies? Well, usually it's movies based on books. You could try out the books that have movies. So these are the books that I have. We have Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. Then we have The Railway Children, Roald Dahl's Matilda, Roderick Rules of The Diary of the Wimpy Kid, written by Jeff Kinney. And we also got Harry Potter. Wait a minute. We also got Harry Potter. So these are the books that have movies across their background. So now let's move on to the next month. For August, we have investigation thrillers. So these are the books that I have in this genre, The Da Vinci Code and Harlan Coben's Win. So these books are really nice to read, and you can have fun reading investigation thrillers during August. Now let's move on to September. When your life is feeling really low and when your life feels useless, lifestyle books come for the rescue. So September is the month of lifestyle. So I'm going to give you some books which will help you increase your lifestyle habits, and these are the books I have in list. 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. Then we got Atomic Habits, which give us some explanation about how to change your habits daily and become a better person. Then we have the 5 a.m. Club about waking up every morning and making your days productive. This is by Robin Sharma. And then we got Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is one of my favorite financial books. And I loved reading Robert Kiyosaki's biographical story. So now let's move on to the next month. Since October is the month of Halloween, I would love to give this month for the genre of horror stories. So up in my list, I have Roald Dahl's Fear. So this book is a terrifying book filled with many horror stories, and I have stopped reading books ever since I read this book. And if you're a person who enjoys horror stories, you should try this terrifying book. Next month is for adventure lovers. So November is the month of adventure, and right now I have some books that are recommended for you as adventure genres. So we have Born to Run by Michelle Moore Pugo, which is a really nice story about a dog and its life adventure. Then we have Golden Dream of Carlo Chuchio, which is written by Leod Alexander. So this is a really nice adventure book, and you would surely love it. Then we have Roald Dahl's War. This is another story which is filled with war and battles and adventure. Then we have Animal Farm, which is another story about a boy who changes into animals along his life. So it's a different kind of adventure. If you have any other adventure books, you can recommend it in the chat section below. Now let's move on to the last month of the year, December. So for the month of December, I'll be giving emotional stories. Emotional stories are always heart-touching. So ending a year like 2023 with heart-touching stories is the best way to end a year. So I'm bringing in The Kite Runner and Born to Run by Michelle Moore Pugo into the emotional stories list. So if you're a person who enjoys emotional stories, December is the month for you. Get ready for an emotional roller coaster. So this challenge is over right now. I've just finished explaining the whole challenge of the year 2023. So we have just come to the end of the video, and right now I'm going to be signing off by telling happy reading and happy new year 2023. Make your chapter 2023 better than 2022. See you in my next video.